Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot. Thank you for joining me today for this lunar eclipse reading. The lunar eclipse occurred a few days ago, and it does put the focus upon our lunar energy, our moons. For those of you that follow your own chart, looking towards the moon gives us clues about the lifetimes we've experienced, the qualities we're bringing forward from past lives. And this is helpful as you are identifying the sun's purpose, the sun being the role you came here to inhabit. So this focus on the moon is about reflecting upon our unconscious energies, our subconscious, as well as the collective unconscious, where most of our conscious decisions, beliefs, choices, opportunities are driven from things that are hidden from us, hidden from sight, uncomfortable, traumatic experiences, those we are ashamed of or deny, are part of what we are being asked during this lunar eclipse to look at, to focus on. And for some of you that are feeling overwhelmed by the experiences of the past, the demons or the projections that seem to loom up, the closer and closer we get to something we desire, that is an indication of the strength, the vitality of your healing process. Healing is something that occurs all the time. It's something you actively balance all the time. And as is described by the Temperance card, which is your overall energy for this month, this particular reading, I should say. This is very much about the way you are changing your perception of your experiences. You're understanding more deeply what reframing means to you, how you learn, and in many ways, for those of you that have had significant traumas in your life, being aware that the neurobiology of our current times is very aware that trauma prevents the natural development and growth of an individual. So when we've been traumatized, we don't see everything, we don't hear everything. It stops our ability to learn how to function productively in a healthy environment when, by definition, a trauma is an unhealthy relationship or environment situation. So you are focused on your healing, you're balancing inside and out, weathering all the storms, battening down the hatches, and maintaining with grace and with poise. Underneath, the Wheel of Fortune indicates you've been doing this for a very long time. It almost feels as though, and this may be very unique to Capricorn, the idea that nothing comes easy for you. Everything has to be the hard way. You make all the mistakes that can be made, and you alone must correct them. That there's no getting by you with a ruler of Saturn. This is really the sense of the taskmaker. Your job is always to do it in the most laborious, time-intensive, labor-intensive way possible. And something is changing about that. And I think what's changing is the way you're reframing all the experiences and lessons learned from the way you've had to navigate through your life. And this is really about your perception, the way you're able to communicate your experiences to others, the way you're able to gain information about your perceptions, your experiences in a way that helps you to reframe them more positively. So it feels as though you are resilient, you are bouncing out of a well, a deep hole, or back from a cave experience. I'm going to pick a Seed and Sickle Oracle card for you, and hope that this is helpful to Jasmine. And I want to say that Aries got this particular oracle card as well. The beautiful thing about Jasmine is that it blooms at night and makes it particularly relevant to the experience of looking in the dark, looking underneath the surface, in the hidden realms, in the secrets, delving into the mysteries, which necessarily we associate with the darkness of our unconscious, where there is no light shed. So I'm going to read this definition from the guidance book in the Jasmine. You've taken some good initial steps on your journey, but you're starting to flounder. Perhaps you feel as though you could have set out in a different direction, or others are calling you foolish for doing things the wrong way. But you chose this path for a reason. Jasmine always grows exactly where it means to, and so do you. You know exactly where you're going and why. Don't let your doubts or the scorn of others make you question yourself. I like this. I particularly like that Jasmine is night blooming, and thus its intoxicating fragrance, its overwhelming fragrance is literally overwhelming and takes over. It is such a strong scent that it can provoke a strong physical reaction, but I do feel as though this is the confirmation that your struggles, your hardships, the difficulties in your life are bearing a kind of unusual spiritual fruit. The senses are seen as part of the brain by the Egyptian uh, culture, and also the heart was a kind of brain. And that heart, that brain contains all the senses, including our sensual experience of the world. So I do feel like this is an area that has been greatly enriched for you, and that you're understanding that this embodiment of your lessons, your journey, your path is part of what it is that you are offering to your community, that you are building a dream upon as a foundation. I'm going to look at the 10th house, which is the house of your the house of your social identity, the way others see you. And the Four of Columns is about an achievement. You have achieved something, and this achievement feels as though it is about a way that you can come together, recognize, support, and celebrate the growth of others in your community, on your team, in your organization, in your home. So this is, it can be a physical brick and mortar, a community center, a soup kitchen, a studio where you can develop yourself creatively. But it is a foundation for what it is you wish to build. And something here is about an achievement that you understand it's less important how it looks on the outside. What is important is that this is a cultural, a spiritual, a social foundation for you, an emotional foundation where good feelings are celebrated after a long, hard slog to learn something, to gain experience, to imbue, to take in a body of knowledge. And don't let it ever be said that learning is easy. It is not. To wit, through our own healing experiences, where, as some of you may have experienced, we repeat the same lessons, we make the same choices with the same not so happy outcomes over and over again until we figure out what is the best way for us to navigate what is in our greatest alignment. In the first house, the Nine of Vessels is the card of contentment, satisfaction. So this is really incredibly beautiful. I don't know why I'm so surprised. I think that this is showing you the fruits of your efforts, of your long, circuitous healing journey. And the reason I say that in particular is because we are still healing from Pluto's presence in our sign for at least 17 years. And depending on your own particular chart, Pluto was in Sagittarius for the 17 to 20 years before that. So this represents decades for some of you of healing, of being stripped down to your core, of having everything removed that was superfluous in your life, or everything that had been gained uh, inappropriately was removed from you, taken away from you. The amount of loss you've endured helped you to bounce back, helped you to find your inner resourcefulness and your resilience. And this actually is a moment for you to appreciate how far you've come, how much you've grown, what you've been able to set up for yourself, the basic restructuring and reframing that you are about. This is beautiful, a sense of real satisfaction and contentment that despite the hardships, you have accomplished something that you can stand by, that you can feel good about. In the fourth house, the house of your home, your family, your soul, the Eight of Columns. Everyone's getting this, and this makes so much sense because Mercury, Venus, the Sun, the Sun are all in Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So that fast action, and then also Venus and Mercury are squaring Uranus, which is about unexpected twists and turns, unexpected opportunities and events that you have to respond to fairly quickly. You have to figure them out fairly quickly, but because you've learned how to trust in your own process, trust in your own way of alignment with what is best for you, you understand that you can take your time no matter how quickly an invitation comes or how eagerly others are clamoring for your participation in something. You get to choose. And this is beautiful because it's as though you're being recognized for your skills and your gifts, gifts you've always had. And this is your opportunity to grow these things in the external world, not just within you. In the seventh house of significant others, the Emperor. There's something here that feels as though you are comfortable, pleased, proud to stand in your own power, to stand in your own life, that you have taken full responsibility for your reality, whatever reality that is, because you now understand that if there is something that you want, you know how to manifest it. The Emperor keyword is realization. We think of that as manifestation, but it's more like actualizing. So, as a result of the many skills you've gathered, the knowledge you have, working on behalf of others. This is a very inclusive kind of leadership that understands that you hold a sacred trust of the welfare of others. And in doing that, you understand that your opportunities and obligations are based on empowering others as you have been empowered. That leadership is just a privilege that is granted to you by those you serve. And so here you are in a place of really building the structure of what you now experience in your life. And that structure, that abundant structure, also recognizes first and foremost spiritual abundance, spiritual wealth, part of the harvest that you are receiving at this time. And of course, the blood moon, the harvest moon of September, this lunar eclipse is really about how we're sorting and discriminating between all that we've earned and gained and decluttering all that is no longer essential. We're only taking the best to move forward. What is essential? If this reading is resonating with you so far, Capricorn, please like this video. Subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate your shares, your comments, all the ways that you support my channel's growth. So thank you in advance for that. The Nine of Vessels in the first house is clarified by the Eight of Cups and the Two of Wands. Yeah. You're definitely at a place of finding the discomfort after you finally established your comfort. And let me rephrase that. Now that you understand that you're comfortable within yourself, you are free to take risks. You are anxious to get out into the world and grow something. You're no longer waiting on an opportunity from others. You are anticipating many opportunities because of the recognition you know that you are receiving, but you're not waiting. You're actually pointing your energy towards those other significant opportunities for you, challenges for you. And the Eight of Cups kind of reiterates this. Your hard work has taken you through the gathering of strength, resilience, courage, bravery, faith and belief in yourself as a result of your strong relationships. And now you are willing to pursue that path to the mountain. You are eager to accomplish your soul's purpose. You are welcoming in or pursuing the opportunity to find your significant purpose in this life. And of course, that brings you no end of happiness. This is almost the step that takes you here, and yet you're coming from a place of knowing that you have this on the inside, that you can support yourself, you can love yourself through any challenges, you can be humble in recognizing that you are a human being entitled to make mistakes and then to start again. But this is in many ways empowering you to take the greatest leap of your life. In the fourth house, the house of your home, your family, your foundation, the Eight of Columns is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. There's something here about understanding and pursuing your legacy, your inheritance, your sharing of the lessons, the resources, the knowledge that you've gained towards coming to this place of not just individual empowerment, but empowerment as part of a collective, as part of a community, of a sharing, protective, safe place where you can be vulnerable, you can share, you can make mistakes, you can be honest, you can be authentic, and yet you know that you are trusted and can trust in those that you share community with, that there are others that have your back. This is the world you want to see for everyone. You've achieved it. And yet it's inspiring you to move out and to implement these practices, lessons, this model of life to others. This comes from a desire for love, for belonging, for being a part of something that trusts and respects who you are as an individual. and where you understand that you are a part of something larger than yourself, and that you are in a position now to give back, to share this with others. In the seventh house of significant others, we have the Emperor, clarified by the Nine of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Interesting. I definitely feel that your a clarity that you have gained, particularly about the way that you perceive others, the way others perceive you, is gifting you with a boost of spiritual, pioneering, excited, energetic, enthusiastic energy. You are now willing to try and try and try, no matter how long it takes, to create something that you're able to build on this powerful foundation. So you want to take this foundation that you've already established, you've already achieved in the world, to a place, to its natural conclusion, to build it out, to grow it, to get to a place of equilibrium, to get to a place of everyone buying into the strength and power of the collective, the community. You are comfortable aligning and steering folks towards the sense of communal well-being, of participating in something as part of a larger community. And somehow you have the clarity, you've gained the personal truth that this is part of your purpose for the planet. Building something that everyone sees themselves partaking in, that everyone can build for themselves. This is what contributes to the world that you see as possible for others, a world that you are experiencing in the present moment. And this has to do with your home environment. In the 10th house, the Four of Calms, the Four of Wands, this beautiful achievement, is clarified by the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Swords. I love this. So the Seven of Swords, really one of few kind of troubling or disturbing cards on the table, is really you looking squarely at the ways in which you feel you have been dismissed, criticized, and judged by others unfairly, in many cases in a very cruel way. Your response to that, which once was simply this ongoing churning and churning and churning as part of your monkey mind, is something that you now accept as necessary. You understand that all of these experiences, all these mean people, all these folks that betrayed you, that really, it's not that you're getting the last laugh. You understand that everyone goes through what you went through, what you have gone through, which is a necessary resistance to the path of success. When someone is doing something that is potentially uh, an achievement, an accomplishment, there are always haters. And you understand that now in a way that doesn't take it so personally. But you also understand that those experiences were necessary for you to tap back into the very core of who you are, which is forgiveness, which is love. That's why you are the person you are, that works towards a beneficial, supportive, resourceful community, because you really understand this to be an expression of love. Supporting others, celebrating their growth, their hard work, is something that you completely understand and support. You see the love that this generates in the world. And so the criticism, the betrayals, the the anger that you experienced and the realization of how this has blocked you has now turned into a sense of self-respect. And this has been something that has eluded you for much of your life, going along, conforming to others who you knew didn't have your best interest at heart. And you didn't want to believe, I should say, didn't have your best interest at heart. You went along that way for a long time because you just had to believe that these people really loved you, despite their actions. But now that you see it, now that you accept it, you understand that this was the way that you had to learn. You had to sharpen. You had to get strong. You had to be resilient. You had to wall off your concern, your need for approval from these folks. And you're now experiencing it as an experience of love. The more you give to others, the more you help and support them, the more you love yourself, the more deserving you feel of the love that surrounds you. I'm almost emotional here. I'm going to finish up this reading with a yogic path oracle. The Samadhi is going to be read out from the yogic path oracle by Sahara Rose. The Samadhi. And advanced state of meditation and absorption of self. Have you noticed the signs of spiritual progress? Your daily practice has brought you to a place of stillness, and it is there that you experience samadhi, the joining of all aspects of your being, physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional. Samadhi is the deepest level of awareness when you experience supreme bliss, consciousness, and enlightenment. Your human consciousness has become one with cosmic consciousness, and your soul has realized that it is far more than a mind and body. Celebrate the reunion of your soul and spirit, for you are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Wow. This is absolutely stunning, Capricorn. Thank you so much for our beautiful reading. If you enjoy this content, there's more content here you can check out. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. Until next time, namaste.